the Xbox and Bethesda Extended Showcase to talk about. We got the NPD results where Xbox still is outselling the PlayStation 5 and lots of other little things to go over. So yesterday was the Xbox Games Showcase Extended, where we just got some more information on stuff that was already announced. There was also a couple of smaller announcements for Xbox Game Pass, but besides that, nothing really too exciting to talk about from this showcase, similar to what it was last year. Although I found this one just to be a tiny bit better than last year's show, with just like the personalities and the overall information we got on the games that are coming out. So they started off here with Pete Hines kind of talking about Redfall and talking about Starfield. And he gave us some more in-depth information about the game and Redfall, wanting to be able to play it with your friends, wanting to be able to play it alone, and how you're going to be able to utilize all the different skills going through this game, and how you're going to kind of want to try every character out. And you're going to be enticed to want to play with other people as well, just so that you can experience taking on the enemies, taking on the missions in different ways. Goes over, talks also about Redfall, talks about it being an epic RPG. And the point of the epic RPG is really to allow you to play the game and how you want and explore and how you want. That was one of the big things with Starfield when they showed it off at the main Xbox and Bethesda showcase, when they talked about the 1,000 planets. When I heard that, I was actually pretty excited because I kind of had an idea of what they were going for, where you're pretty much just given this entire huge world where you're going to be able to explore. One day you're going to jump in, you're going to want to follow the main quest line, the side quests, get through all that stuff. Then the next day you're going to want to jump in, you're just going to want to relax and fly around, go onto planets, hunt for resources, and just kind of do your own thing. And that's what they're going for here with Starfield. And I couldn't be more excited about that, where they're giving you the option on really how you want to play this game. There may be people out there that don't even finish all of the quests, don't even finish the main quest. They just want to fly around, build bases, build ships, discover different things on different planets. And I honestly think that is very cool with Starfield. So I was on the complete opposite side when they announced the 1,000 planets. I was pretty excited for it. And Pete Hines talks a bit more about this. And Todd Howard actually talked more about Starfield as well. We got some more information on a phone call interview with IGN after this show. And he was talking about just Starfield, what we can expect, the things that they decided to focus on. And Skullsy here on Twitter sums it up very well. And it says here, new info from the recent IGN and Todd Howard interview regarding Starfield. He talked about flying, and he mentioned you can't actually manually land on planets. It basically said that when they were making this game, they had to focus on the things that were more important for the players, and actually flying into the planet itself and manually landing, they thought not as important to the players itself. So I'm guessing it's just going to be a cutscene or like a zoom in, and you're going to be landed on the planet. They also talk about the different areas and content of the game, saying instead Bethesda wants to put focus in areas where most game content will be on planet services and in space near planets and points of interest. There's plenty of handcrafted content, more so than ever before, with procedural generation to fill in the gaps. And that's another big thing with the 1,000 planets. Obviously, there's going to be procedural generation, but I'm sure there are plenty of planets out there that are handcrafted, that will be diverse, that will be very fun to play and explore. And hey, if you want to, you literally can just stick to those planets, and you don't need to go off to all of the other hundreds and hundreds of planets that are out there. And when it comes to the main story quest, for how long it's going to be, Skullsy here says 40, 50 hours, but I believe it actually said 30 to 40, and this person down here corrects them. So yeah, about 30 to 40 hours just for the main story quest line, which is slightly longer than the general Bethesda Game Studios games, as they, I think, are around like 25 to 30 hours or so. So it'll be a bit longer, but obviously there's going to be so much to continue to do once you finish the main story quests. There will be 4 major cities that are in the game, and New Atlantis is the biggest out of all of the previous Bethesda Game Studios games. And Starfield combat is inspired by FTL and Mech Warrior. He also does say that it's not as slow as Mech Warrior, and he's specifically talking about, I believe, with the Mech Warrior stuff, as when he was in that call, they were showing off pictures of dogfighting in space. I believe he was specifically talking about that, but I could be wrong when he's comparing it to the Mech Warrior stuff. Now, Fallout 5 is confirmed as well, because he does say on that call that their slate for Bethesda Game Studios is just, they're packed. I mean, they're finishing Starfield, and they're obviously going to have to continue to support that game for years to come. But then they're working on Elder Scrolls 6, which is in pre-production, and then Fallout 5. So if you're somebody who's waiting on Fallout 5 and you're excited for it, it's not going to be for like 10 years or so. It may not even be until the next generation of consoles, but that's where Bethesda Game Studios is going. Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, and then Fallout 5. So lots of information about Starfield and Redfall in the extended showcase, plus in the IGN interview after that, which you can all get onto YouTube if you want to check those out if you're interested in hearing more about it. But besides that, they also announced some Xbox Game Pass stuff. The first one here, which I believe is coming exclusively to Xbox and PC, and that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming in 2023. And this is a multiplayer horror survival game. Looks like it could be very terrifying, very adrenaline inducing, and basically you're going to be taking on the notorious Slaughter family to seek out people and try to kill them, or you're going to be trying to use stealth and your wits and stuff to get away from the Slaughter family to survive. And they showed off some gameplay here with some graphics, and I mean, honestly, it looks pretty cool. It looks terrifying. It's one of those games that you're probably going to have your heart beating the entire time as somebody is chasing you, trying to kill you. And again, coming in 2023 to Xbox Game Pass. Then they announced Valheim is also coming to PC Game Pass in 2022, and then Xbox Game Pass for console in 2023. Valheim, a game that's already been out, I believe, on Steam. I think it has a pretty big community. It's kind of like a survival crafting style of game of Vikings, and you are trying to slay Odin's ancient rival. So if you're interested in Valheim and you haven't checked it out yet, you will be able to check it out on Xbox Game Pass. They talked about some flight simulator stuff. This time, instead of the trebuchets, as you remember those last year, they went to talk about planes. So there's that if you want to get some more information on some history lessons, I guess, about planes and all that type of stuff. And then there was a Fall Guys announcement, which is bringing Halo content over to Fall Guys, where you're going to be able to play as Master Chief and the Arbiter with these skins within Fall Guys. And we know Fall Guys is coming to Xbox, so you're going to be able to jump in and check those out. But yeah, all in all, just an extra show for more content, more deeper dives and stuff. Nothing too exciting. There's nothing from here you're going to walk away from and be wowed about it, I don't think. And it caps off the end of the summer showcases for Xbox, and my overall assessment of it was the show itself, the main show, was pretty good, giving us a good look of what we can expect for the next 12 months. And there are plenty of games on there that I'm excited to check out. So I thought the show was good. I don't think it was as good as last year's, but overall it was a decent show, and pretty excited for some of the content coming over to Xbox Game Pass between now and June 2023. That's the one thing. This isn't going all the way to the end of 2023, so there could still be some massive games coming out in the holiday season of 2023 that they're going to show off maybe at the next event in fall, or whenever they have more information on it. All right, let's jump over here to the NPD results for May 2022. And the results continue to really show how well Xbox is doing. We're at a point now where I don't think, and I've said this in previous videos as well, where we talk about sales, where you can just solely focus on the lack of stock and the lack of inventory as to why Xbox is beating PlayStation 5 in 2022. But let's take a look at these numbers. So overall, the gaming industry from last year to this year is down. I mean, you look at 2022, you compare it to 2021, arguably it's worse in terms of the games that we've got, in terms of the big blockbuster games that everybody is talking about. The pandemic is coming to an end. People are going outside. People aren't being forced to stay at home now. So, hey, they're going to be playing less games, and they're going to be doing a lot of other stuff to stay occupied. And it's resulting in these numbers. As it says here, May 2022 consumer spending across video game hardware, content, and accessories fell 19% when compared to a year ago to $3.7 billion. This is the lowest monthly spending total the industry has achieved since February 2020, $3.5 billion. And when we look back at 2022, in 2023 and in 2024, I think we're going to see just 2022 was just an overall down year for video games. It was that year where things were going back to normal. We were coming off of the people working from home and all of the changes in the world and all the craziness that's been going on. And it's that year where everyone got things together, where we started seeing all those results in 2023 and beyond. But moving on here to the hardware sales between the Switch, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X and S. They say here, Nintendo Switch led all platforms in both units and dollars in May 2022. The Nintendo Switch is an extremely successful console and continues to be successful. And the Switch was also the market-leading platform in hardware units sold year to date, while the Xbox Series generated the highest dollar sales in the period. And what else is interesting is that the Xbox Series is the only hardware platform showing year-over-year dollar sales growth, either in May or year to date, which again shows that it's been a very good year for Xbox thus far. And in terms of the overall units, it's confirmed here that Xbox was number 2 in units and in revenue, ahead of the PlayStation 5. But there's still hardware and supply constraints with both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So those constraints are still there, but the Series X and S are still outselling the PS5. And I mean, that again is a success story, especially with the fact that there are no first-party Xbox Game Studios games that have launched in 2022. In terms of the top 10 games for Xbox platforms in May 2022, Elden Ring number 1, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga number 2, Evil Dead number 3, which is a new game. You still have Call of Duty Vanguard in there at number 4, and then just under that, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I mean is still selling extremely well. And then even further down, number 7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Under that, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Very interesting to see that like old Call of Duties, Black Ops 3 and Modern Warfare 2 are still in the top 10 for video game sales on the Xbox platform. You have Halo Infinite way at the bottom, a game that came out on Xbox Game Pass day 1, free to play. People are still going out and purchasing that game, which is very, very interesting to see. And same with Forza Horizon 5 at number 9. Game Pass games still selling very well, which again goes ahead and destroys that narrative that, hey, if you put a game onto Game Pass, people aren't going to buy it. People are still buying these games, whether they're on the subscription service or not. So all in all, I mean, it's nothing too crazy, nothing too new. Video game spending is down in general, but Xbox still is doing extremely well. People are still walking into stores and they're picking up an Xbox over a PS5. It can't all just be because of the supply constraints. Xbox has made a very desirable console with incredible services, tons of content, and that's why still in 2022, without a first-party Xbox Game Studios game, the system continues to sell very well, which is just, like I always say, a cherry on top of the cake, on top of the pie, whatever you want to eat for Xbox, because of the fact that they care more about their ecosystem and getting people subscribed to their ecosystem no matter where it is, PC, console, through your phone, through a streaming stick, through a streaming app on your Samsung TV. It doesn't matter where it is. But on top of that, they're also still selling very well in terms of their hardware. All right, just a quick rundown of a couple more things that you guys may be interested in. We got some news here that FIFA 22 is coming to Xbox Game Pass on June 23rd. So if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you get access to the EA Play membership, which gives you access to all of the games that come over onto that service. So another big sports game hitting the service, which again just makes the selection of sports games on Game Pass insane. It's literally the place you want to be if you want to play sports games, because they have all the different games that are NHL, FIFA, NBA, Madden, MLB. So pretty much everything, anything you want to play is on Xbox Game Pass. Now we move over here. We also got potential release and leak of the Modern Warfare 2 betas, and apparently from a leak here by Amazon, it's going to be in August. Amazon US specifically is saying that it will send out Modern Warfare 2 beta access codes to PS4 and PS5 pre-order customers on August 15th. And that makes sense. That means that on August 15th, PlayStation users are going to get it. And then about August 20th or 21st, Xbox users are going to get it, because it is confirmed here that Activision still has that marketing deal with PlayStation for Modern Warfare 2. And one of the big things within that marketing deal is the fact that they get the beta first. And it says here, publisher Activision confirmed last week that all pre-orders of the game come with early access to the game's beta, which will be available on PlayStation consoles at least 5 days earlier than any other platform. So you can expect, if you're on Xbox, to be able to get access to this beta if you've pre-ordered it on the 20th or 21st of August, if this leak is correct. So this is a game, I mean, everyone's very excited for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm really excited for it. I'm probably going to go ahead and pre-order it just so I can get access to that beta and see if it is going to live up to the hype in terms of how it feels and how it looks. Obviously, it's a beta. Things get changed. They improve things off this. It isn't going to be the final product, but you can get an idea sort of if it is a type of Call of Duty that you're going to want to play. I mean, this is a game that I played back on the 360 non-stop, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. And then jumping over here to Bright Memory Infinite, we have some good news about this game and the different game modes that are going to be available on Xbox. So first of all, there will be 120 FPS performance mode on the Series X and S, but it will also support ray tracing with reflections in the 60 FPS mode. Now, this is a very fast-paced looking shooter with action, sword fighting, multiple different styles of enemies, all that type of stuff. I think it looks really good. They first showed it off in 2020, but we haven't really heard too much more about it. It was supposed to come out in 2021. It got delayed. And the developers have talked about how they just needed more time to make sure that it ran well on all platforms. as they think it's like a miracle that it's running super well on the consoles. Not only is it running well, we're also getting the ray tracing and the 120 FPS mode. So this is another game to highly look forward to. And I'm actually pretty excited for this one. Looks like it will be a ton of fun. Finally, to end things off here with a bit more Starfield information, and this is the fact that dialogue in the game is first person and that your character does not have a voice, which I think a lot of people are excited about because it's your character. Starfield, that's what they've really focused on with this game, is the game is yours, the exploration is yours, how you want to play is yours. And now your character, which is completely highly customizable, we saw all of the different skills and traits and all that type of stuff when they showed off Starfield at the showcase. So many of them. They even had like the chef and stuff like that, which was really funny. But now there's no voice, so you can really get into the character and give it the voice that you want to give it. So I'm pretty happy to hear this, that you're really going to be immersed into the RPG mechanics for Starfield. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all of this stuff, the Xbox and Bethesda extended showcase. What did you think about the more information we got about Starfield from Pete Hines and from Todd Howard? What do you think about the MPD results and Xbox still outselling the PlayStation 5? And what are you most excited to play out of the games that are going to be coming to Game Pass in the next 12 months? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support. And I'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.